Good morning, afternoon, or evening, as case may be in your part of the world. For those who don't know me, I'm Zen Archer. A friend of mine, I refer to as the Bull, although he may pronounce it differently. I like to think of him that way. Put out a video challenge, and it really touched me because it's something that I talk about out here all the time on my blog. And so I wanted to respond in the best way that I could and answer that question. And his question was, what is it that you can do to change the world one person at a time that won't cost you anything and affects at least one person? Well, one of the things that I do doesn't cost me anything, not really, and that's my blog and talking about changing the world one person at a time and helping people to think about things and maybe give them a different perspective. But everyone isn't as verbose as I am, and maybe that just doesn't work for them. So I thought I'd make a couple of other suggestions that might be helpful. I'm a smoker, and every day when I'm out and about, sometimes I'm in the hospital and I have to go outside to have a cigarette, and people take their butts and just throw them on the ground, and it's unsightly at best. It makes it not a pleasant place to be. And one of the things that I do when I'm there, while I'm having my cigarette, is I'll pick up 3, 4, 5 of the cigarette butts and toss them in the ashtray that's usually available. Also, when I'm out taking a walk, if I see trash that's near the trail or just off the trail that I'm on, I'll walk over and pick it up, and I usually carry a plastic bag with me, and I'll put it in that, and then I'll dispose of it properly. Now, how does that help change the world? It makes it a more pleasant place to be for those people that are walking the trail behind me or outside also having a cigarette. And I know that there are those out there having a cigarette that will just flick the cigarette away. But that's why I do a little bit more than my part and don't just worry about mine but also about other people's. But there are a number of other things you can do. If you're not, when you've got things that you don't use anymore, that you've had in storage for years, or that are just in the way, throw them in the trunk of your car, and when you go by the Salvation Army, drop them off. It's tax deductible for you if it's anything of value, and they'll resell it, and they'll use that money in order to help make the world a better place. And that helps pay for a lot of things, including soup kitchens and feeding people who can't afford to feed themselves. It's also not very difficult to take a can or two of soup out of your cabinet that you really didn't know why you bought it anyway, and drop it off at your local church or your local food pantry. Those things go a long way, and they affect a lot of people. It doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't. But it touches my heart to know that people want to help, and that they will help in some way. So maybe you're not the one who buys the groceries, and you're not the person who can take the can of food out of the cupboard. You know what? I bet your mom or your dad wouldn't mind if you helped out at a pantry, or if you helped out at a food kitchen somewhere, or you know. Now those are all some pretty big active things. There's something else that you can do that seems to work for me is just smile. When you see someone who's a little down, just give them a smile. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't cost any time. But that smile that you gave them, that knowing, genuine smile, maybe just the thing that they needed to lift their day. It's not hard to do for others. It's not hard to make the world a better place. All it takes is that you want to do that. And I hope you do. It's so easy to become cynical and skeptical of everything. But I believe in people. And I believe in you. Make it a daily practice to pick up some trash that you didn't throw down. To give somebody a smile that really might need one. To help an elderly person take their groceries out to their car and put them in. Or bring them in if you see them carrying groceries in. Doesn't take a lot. And that person, when they say, "What can I do for you?" tell them, "Pay it forward. Don't give me anything. Instead, carry it forward and let the domino effect continue. You want to pay me back? Do something good for somebody else." I got a little sappy here, I know. I think it's the little things that are important. Things that don't cost you money, things that don't take time out of your day, that you can do to make the world a better place. So I've given you a couple of suggestions. I'm sure you can think of many others, and there'll be other video posts here that will give you other ideas. Think about what you would like somebody to do for you that wouldn't cost them anything to do. And then do it for somebody you know. That's my advice. And that's the end of my video response. So until next time, this is Zen Archer. You be well.
Way back then